I have joining me at this point on the broadcast Major Mohommed Ali Shah. Thank you for joining us this morning, sir. Now we're talking about the big development where as the youth who are protesting and several who are not protesting as well, who were preparing for the army, were worried about what they will do after 4 years after they complete the service, and now the ministries have come forward, have tried to assure the youth. They've said we'll provide 10% reservation. Defence Ministry and MHA has come out with reservations. The Merchant Navy and the Civil Aviation Ministry have come out saying we offer a lot of jobs and preference for Agniveers. Your views on these developments?
Aarti, I am myself a short service officer. I did a very short stint in the army of 5 years. I joined the army with a clear mind. Though I had the option of taking a permanent commission, that rested on me. And of course, the army as well, if they thought of me worthy, which fortunately they did, but the option towards the end of 4.5 years was with me. I chose to opt out. I opted out at a time when recession was at the peak in the year 2008 and there were no jobs. And mind you, after I left the army, I went to IIM Calcutta to do my management. Now companies had stopped coming on IIM campus as well for recruitments. So I know the pain and the agony, and we've been through that what after 5 years? Similarly, what after 4 years? As you rightly said, many PSUs like Merchant Navy, many PSUs have come forward saying that we would recruit. Let me tell you, even the lowest dip of the recession, all our course mates were placed 100% with a 6-figure salary, minimum. So which means, what the bottom line I'm trying to say is, there is a lot of demand for army officers in any scope. And it's a misnomer, it's a misconception that they would be only fit for security or a PSU. An army man, not an army officer, even a Jawan, army man I'm saying, can do anything, Aarti.
Right.
He is the kind of training, the kind of grilling and the kind of endurance he has actually gone through. They make you realize your potential to the optimum. Today, if I have to go running from Gurgaon to Delhi or Delhi to Meerut, I can do it. I have that confidence, yes, I can do it.
Right. Sir, do you think now these announcements that have come from the ministries, do you think they will give more confidence to the youth who are protesting? If we can ensure that every single Agniveer who is going to be inducted for those 4 years gets a job after they leave, that would be the only way to sort of subside the anger or the sort of anguish that's coming. Part of it is instigated, is what we're learning through several reports, but the other part, the youth who are genuinely protesting, who are genuinely concerned, to sort of provide them with the confidence that you will get jobs. Several ministries are offering jobs, so if you want to be in service as well, there is an opportunity for you to still work with the ministries.
A very good question, Aarti, very, very good question. And through your question, you would be able to help reach a lot of young minds who have a similar question going in their minds. And yes, most certainly this proposal and the cause that New Age has taken up, the campaign that you guys are running, I commend that. It most certainly will give a lot of confidence to the youth that they can come forward. That's what I was trying to do as well by earlier giving a personal example that they need not worry about anything.
Right.
There is a lot, Aarti, you'll agree with me. A lot of people, you'll hear of qualified engineers out of jobs. You'll hear of people from the aviation sector, pilots, trained pilots, who have a CPL and PPL from Florida, unemployed. But tell me one army man, not an officer, not a Jawan, man, one army man who is unemployed. Okay, he doesn't want to work, that's his wish, that's a different thing. But one army man who's looking for a job, the world is open, Aarti. A lot of my boys and girls, my younger brothers who are protesting, firstly I would like to advise you all, please do not vandalize, please do not do arson, please do not take law in your hands, because an army aspirant would never do that. An army person is meant to safeguard our country, not destroy it, and you would be destroying your own property. It's our own property. Unless and until you consider the buses, trains to be your own property, how can you actually call the nation your own? These are our own people, our own nation. So firstly, secondly, I would not call them anti-national. Don't say they are anti-national activities. I can imagine the anger, but you need to cool down by just branding like yesterday I was on a debate. I heard some people saying, calling them anti-national. By doing that, you're angering them further. You have to empathize. You have to understand.
Right.
You have to just understand. The solution is not a debate. The solution is not an argument. The solution is to make them understand. Aarti, I'll quickly conclude. 2 nights back, I got 10 calls from my 10 senior veterans from the army. We have a very good equation. And they all were calling me and they fired me up. In a loving way, of course. They said, I've heard you are supporting the scheme. How dare you? So I said, and they gave me 10 points. How it is negative, how it's bad.
Right.
Aarti, I gave them 20 points. How it's beneficial. Which meant countering their 10 points in a very fine way and giving them 10 points further. And they all agreed with me. The end note was, it's nothing but a communication problem. It's nothing but the government unfortunately has not been able to convey or to communicate or to reach out in the manner they should have reached out. And this happened earlier as well. In the farmers' protest also it was a communication mistake. So right now, as the PSUs have come out, it certainly will give a lot of confidence to our youth to come forward and join this AgniPath scheme, Aarti.
Right, and Major Shah, like you had mentioned, the fact that, they're being provided confidence and you can sort of instill that confidence in the youth. When we're talking about ministries coming forward with these jobs, do you think the question of pension also then arises? Because that was one of the major points over which the youth were protesting. After 4 years, they're not going to be considered for pension, whereas later when they're offered a government job, that would be much better than sort of just any employment, because the question of pension also then arises.
A very good question again by you, Aarti. Aarti, army is not a job. It is a way of life. If you want adventure, if you want to live a life less ordinary, if you want to do exceptional things, which you would not get a chance to do anywhere in the civil world, then join the army. And my advice is, if you're looking for a job, then army is a wrong job. And it's fine. It's fine if you do not want to do that. It's fine. Go and look for a job outside, in the railways, somewhere, government job, which would be pensionable firstly. Secondly, if not pension, if you're looking for a job, please study, please work hard, and please find some other job. The army today is in need of motivated youngsters. I'll quickly conclude again in 10 seconds by giving a personal example again, Aarti. Aarti, I was working with one of the leading multinational companies in the world. The leading multinational company in the world. I resigned from there to join the Officers Training Academy for 5 years. The contractual period was for 5 years. I had the faith, I had the confidence in my ability that yes, whatever come my way, I will make good of it. I experienced those 5 years and I came out. I got an IAMS.
Right, sir. I'm afraid we're completely out of time. Thank you for joining us this morning and sharing your thoughts and anecdotes, helping our youth understand.